Have you ever woken up in the middle of the night and had the overwhelming feeling of fear to the point where you cannot even sleep or hardly breathe? Scientists have begun to call this phenomenon sleep paralysis. It is what happens when people wake up while in the state known as REM sleep, which prevents you from acting out what is going on in your dreams. In layman's terms, REM sleep prevents you from running around the room when you think you're being chased by something in your dreams. According to scientists, we do not always come out of this state properly, and our body is still frozen, even though we are wide awake. Cultures from around the world have associated this phenomenon with things like demons or other kinds of evil spirits, and even alien abductions in more modern cases. But what most people don't know is that those old stories and legends might actually hold some truth, because there is something out there that freezes you with terror in the middle of the night, and you probably have even experienced it. It starts when you are young, usually as soon as you can talk. You usually do not remember the first few times it sees you, but your parents will tell you about them. They'll tell you about the times when you would wake up crying or saying there was a monster in your closet, but that it was just a bad dream and that you should go back to bed. As you get older, you stop leaving your room, knowing your parents will never believe you. You do not always see this creature, but you know he is always in your room, watching you from a dark corner or from your closet. Sometimes he'll lie under your bed, poking his limbs out or other body parts just enough so you can barely see them out of the corner of your eye, keeping you frozen in fear in your bed night after night. Before you can focus on it, you'll blink and dismiss it as a trick of the light, or you'll convince yourself that it's just your mind playing tricks on you. But you know what you saw. It is only when you stop believing your eyes that you will truly see it. It'll be in the middle of the night, and you will wake up most likely from a bad dream or the inability to sleep or get comfortable for too long. You will roll over or look down your bed and you will see it. It is humanoid and completely bald, with blood red skin. Some even claim it is dripping wet, as if the creature secretes a red liquid or is actually soaked in blood. You will be paralyzed as you stare at this creature, smiling the widest smile you have ever seen in your life, with 2 rows of perfectly white but very human-like teeth. The being does not speak or otherwise move, but you cannot do anything. You cannot run, you cannot hide under your covers, you cannot scream, and sometimes you're not even able to breathe. After what seems like an eternity, the creature will climb into bed and lay there with you until you fall asleep. He does not touch you, nor does he make any attempt to, but he continues to stare at you, sometimes even chuckling softly. When you cannot stand to look at its maniacal, terrifying grin any longer, it will speak just 2 words to you, in a soft but devilish voice.
Sleep well.
Surprisingly, you will finally be able to fall asleep, and you will never see him again. Now, most people claim that they have never seen this creature. In fact, they would argue it is also kind of psychological cover-up or just the product of a young and wild imagination. But like you have just heard, as long as you believe the creature exists, it will not come into your bed, and it will keep its distance. It almost seems to prefer that you know it is there and that it is real. No one is quite sure why this creature does what it does. It only appears to delight in the terror of its victims, and feels the need to remind them of its existence when they are able to convince themselves that it is not real. Perhaps it feels as if it cannot frighten you anymore after its final visit, or that the instance is so terrifying that the memory alone is enough to keep you terrified for the rest of your life. We may never know why the Red Man, as some people call it, does what he does, but its victims know that it is all too real, and that it is out there, hunting its next victim. How can you tell if this creature has visited you, or that it might be the thing that is watching you from the corner of your room? Well, it's always been said that children are more in tune to spiritual things because they're in innocence. This is displayed by the fact that children are more willing to believe in mythical creatures like fairies and the boogeyman, even if someone like their parents reassures them that they are not. But at some point, all of us grow out of these beliefs. We stop believing in things like Santa Claus and the Tooth Fairy. But can we ever really pinpoint a date in our lives when this happens? In fact, can we even remember much of a time in our lives when these things were real to us? Perhaps the Red Man takes this away from us. Perhaps it is he that takes away the innocence and replaces something sinister or dark, blocking out our childhood beliefs. But why would this be a possible mode for creatures to nothing but fill its victims with fear? Well, the oldest person who ever reported seeing this creature before losing all memory of it was only 13 years old. Sleep well, and know the red man has already left you.